everybody. Merry Christmas. Almost. It's the day before the day before. So it's a Christmas Eve. And like most of you, we're dealing with some very, very, very cold weather. There's a whopping -8 degrees right now. But it is supposed to warm up all the way to a blistering 5 degrees, maybe. After a good time, they have a live stream. Remember, I shifted my Friday workout to Thursday because of this weather. And driving home last night was pretty adventurous. If you anybody checked out my drive out whiteout, there's a few times where I could only see about a foot or two in front of the car. So, of course, I was driving slow and at times had my hazards on. Luckily, there was really no traffic joining me at the time because it was late at night. And I get to do it again tonight. Yippee, yippee-ki-yay. So today, we're going to have bacon, sausage, potatoes, and eggs. So a very healthy, calorie-rich meal. Now, most of the country is dealing with this very cold weather, and a lot of times we forget we need a lot of calories to maintain body heat, especially when it's this cold. Excuse me. So, literally, I'll have a shirt on, I have a coat to wear over the shirt, I have a vest to wear over that coat, and then I have another larger coat to wear over both. So I have plenty of cold weather gear in case I get in trouble. And the whole idea is you want to make sure you're driving nice and slow. You don't want to be going too fast. Or get you in trouble. Remember, my sponsor are Cutco knives. So this one here, there we go. A nice little peeler one to have. Wow, look at that, just glide through. So this is just going through the potato skin like it's not even there. That's a really good knife. So what I do is I kind of cut up the bad parts, and the rest of it gets sliced. Wow. This is, I've never really had a knife go through a potato skin that easily. Then we put those in the food bucket. I got bacon and sausage going on here. Sausage takes a little bit longer than bacon does. I cook the bacon because, number one, I like it. And then that is going to be the grease that I cook all the rest of the stuff with. So I think I'm going to go with another tater. And because these did not come from my garden, I have eaten all of those. Good morning, prepping artist. Merry Christmas. I hope the night passed well for you. My outdoor cat got to sleep indoors. I just felt it was just too cold to have her out last night. You know, when it's in the 20s and 30s, that's fine. She always was an outdoor cat, but when it's negatives and the wind chills are putting it even in more dangerous temperatures, that's when I say, hey, it's time to go. So, as we got puppy artists, I have got one of Prepper Nation's books. John Davis wrote this. So the Beaverines will know this guy. And I just started reading the first gunship. So I will do a review on it later. It's a little soon to do it right now. I just started reading it, but it has my interest so far. Outlaw Farms. Merry Christmas. Thank you for stopping in. You have a Merry Christmas too, and bless your family. Windy, Maine. Yep. I tell you, I don't have that. Yeah, there's 20 of them, so this is the first one. And that's where I hope it's the first one. It said it was number one. And, also I was listening to John, and he said he wrote books. And I said, well, wait a minute. All this time I've been listening to him and never caught on to the fact that he was an author. And I love reading. So, and I like that type of science fiction fantasy. I think a buddy of mine in West Virginia may have read his book already because we're nerds and we do some role playing. You know, we did something very similar to that. So, but right now I'm just chopping. Oh, I can't see. Let me bring this down a little bit. Yep, Beaverines in the house. So right now I'm chopping up some taters. That's right, taters, precious. And I will fry these in the bacon grease. Got a nice golden brown. Then I'll cover them with eggs. And if they get really wild, I'll throw some cheese over it. So why everything else is cooking, and any of the scraps I put in the old food bucket, which is an old coffee can. Bacon does cook faster than the sausage does. I'll put them on a napkin to kind of dry out. Flip the sausages. And if I don't have enough bacon grease in there, I'll add some Crisco vegetable oil to it. I try to cook in bacon grease. Your seed oils are actually not good for you. So if you are going to cook in oil, olive oil is preferred, or animal fat. Some people say, "Oh, you cook in bacon grease." Yeah, bacon grease is better for you than corn oil or mazola oil or any of the other seed oils. Not that bacon grease is a health food, but it should be. You're getting hungry now. All right, me too. Remember, a good breakfast takes about 45 minutes to cook. Now, I had already started it, so we'll probably get done a little quicker this time. But usually my meal chats are about an hour. It takes time to cook delicious food. And if you're going to have good food, you might as well have good implements. So these are my Cutco knives. These are 2 of the 4 that I have. remember to see my buddy at Lucky O'Day at Cutco.com. And they'll sharpen them for free. Lifetime. Subscriber Steve Lyons has had his for over 40 years. And I think he's getting his sharpened for the 4th time. So really, really good company. Good food and good company, absolutely. So we were gonna go down out to Missouri for Christmas, but with this hazardous weather and as cold as it is, it's just not a good idea to leave the house. So make sure that we're running enough water. I've got the secondary heat going and the tertiary heat. Along with the furnace, I've got my generator outside ready to go. I got 3 solar generators already plugged up. I've got fresh gas in the generator out there. I've got 4 gallons of fuel to go with it if I need to. So we are prepared. We know how to do winters. Everybody's like freaking, oh my God, it's a blizzard. Well, yeah, we've had it many times, and we know how to deal with it. So eggshells, potato scraps, coffee grounds, I'll go in my food bucket, and then I dump it out in the garden when it gets filled. And that definitely helps me grow stuff in the spring. I did have a very successful garden this year, and using grow bags for the first time, and I will use more of them next year. It's just an easier way to keep them weeded. So I think I did 5 bags of potatoes last year. I probably will do 10 this year. Those potatoes are so good. And I did a couple bags of peppers, which I'll do again, and a couple little bags of tomatoes, which I'll repeat on that again. So it didn't work out well with the grow bag was zucchini. Zucchini needs just more soil than the ones I'll leave in the ground. And probably will at least increase my garden output by double. Yeah, so I use a 30-gallon grow bag, and all I did is to put about that much dirt in there, and then put the potato, then about that much dirt over it, and then the sprouts keep covering up the dirt, which I didn't do this year. I will do it. Well, I did, but I did it way up too high. And you just gotta make sure you keep it watered. They will run out of water faster in a grow bag than they will in soil. Yep. Hurricanes and blizzards. We don't have to deal with hurricanes because we're in the Midwest. Well, we have our tornadoes. And that's why this house has a basement. I think in the 21 years we've been in this house, we've had to go to the basement about 3 times. They had a horizontal tornado come through and took some tiles off the roof, but I was able to repair it. We had another microburst hit. But I had planted a bunch of windbreaker trees in the back, and those trees bent like in a 90 and then straightened back up. And what they did is they deflected that microburst right over the house. So they definitely did what they were supposed to do. Then we had a tornado one year where I was having beer and brats over at a guy's house about 40 miles away. And so getting around 4 o'clock, I said, well, I better head back. He goes, oh, come on, just one more beer than that. And I said, no, it's not looking good out there. So I came home, and then about 45 minutes after I got home, a tornado went down that road that I had came home on. So it was a good thing I came home. Otherwise, I would have been driving through a tornado, which usually does not end well. So I think I've got the sausages are cooked good enough. So I'll put them on the plate. Right now I'm just utilizing 1 plate. I will break it up in 2 because I am cooking for 2. So now I got plenty of grease, bacon grease. I'm going to put the potatoes in. And utilize my secret spices. Okay, my secret spices. Which basically is fresh ground pepper and sea salt. If you can't stand the heat, don't come in the kitchen. Ooh, yeah, that's good stuff. So, and then I cook this on a low medium heat. I'm not in a hurry. For those that get done, a slower cook makes for a better cook. I have brown eggs, and then I got some big jumbos. The farmer who I usually buy my eggs from, unfortunately, one of the chickens had died mysteriously for dinner. And he's got new ones, and they're not laying very much, especially in this weather. So I did have to go out and buy store-bought eggs, the bargain eggs, and the like England best eggs are only like 20 cents different. So I do have like 2 dozen of the England best in the refrigerator, and I go through about 4 dozen eggs a week. So because of my working out, and I eat a lot of eggs and milk. So, but eggs are almost $5 a dozen. So I remember getting them for $1. So I don't know where this 7.1 inflation comes from, because on the stuff that I buy, it's a lot more now. The one thing that hasn't really went up a lot is milk. Milk maybe it's only went up 25%, but eggs have went up considerably. It's really cold in the southeast Texas. We usually don't get this cold. No, you don't. I'm sure you don't. We do. I mean, we do get sub-zero weather. It's going to be a heat wave 2 days. It'll be in the 40s. Yeah, so we're going to get to about 5 degrees tomorrow. I think we're going to get about 8. Sunday, maybe 10 degrees, and Monday. By Wednesday, we're going to be in the, I guess, the 50s. So just when you think you know something, Mother Nature throws you for a loop. So I'll put the knives over here. So yeah, my next week will be in the 40s and 50s, which is unseasonably warm for January here in Central Illinois. Really, January and early February is probably the coldest time of the year. And usually we will get a couple weeks of sub-zero weather. And here we're only getting a couple days. So Minx is in my chair. She's sleeping in my chair. That's where she slept all last night. Minx is my cat. And she got herself in trouble yesterday. If you check out my MacBean Farms and Prepping channel, you'll see the video of Binks is getting nothing for Christmas. So she managed to get up. Not quite sure how she did it. We have an A-frame. And in the master bedroom, there's that section right there, which is kind of storage. And she managed to get up there. And she turned into a big fur ball. I mean, just dust. So if you check out thank you, Mama Jen, welcome. Thanks for dropping in. If you check out my MacBean Farms and Prepping channel, you will see the video of Binks is getting nothing for Christmas. And that's why Binks is in trouble. But I might bring her over here to say hi to everybody. She probably thinks I'm going to throw her out, but I'm not. Go say hi to everybody. I'll bring you right back. Go say hi to everybody. So there's the kitty who's in trouble. All right, she was a feral cat for 6 years, and now she's my buddy. And she's not looking happy because she thinks I'm going to throw her outside, but I'm not. So say bye, hi. I'm going to put her back in her chair. She's probably in shock. Because usually when I pick her up, it's when I take her outside. She'll be outside. So I keep stirring the taters. Give me an idea of how good these look. Well, there it is. There's the base. And as they get cooked more, I'll break up the bacon in them. And I may break up one of the sausages. And I'll put about 6 or 7 eggs over the whole thing. We're talking good breakfast. See what else I got here. So, she is a sweet kitty. She gets in trouble though. She got up in the attic. So if you check out, see if I can get here. Yeah. Or no, it's not Scotch, it's MacBean. Sorry. Farmer's and cooking. If you check out that channel, that's not my link. I don't really know how to do it real quick. You can see Binks is getting up for Christmas because she got up that night. She was just, all of a sudden, she was a light gray cat. She had so much dust in her fur. And was resisting coming to me so I could get her out of there. It wasn't supposed to be up there. So, the mischiefs of chance. So, then we got Bama Jim and Outlaw Farms in here. So here's John's book I just bought called Gunship. There's John there. I just started reading it. I'm only about 10 pages, 10, 15 pages in. So I've got that to read for the Christmas weekend. Also, I had a fun drive home. If you watched the whiteout, I mean, a few times. So far, it's good. So far, I like it. Now, like I said, I've only read about 15 pages, but now we're in the character introduction and we're getting some background on what's going on. It's the first of a lot of series of books called Gunship. So if I go through it and I enjoy the whole book, then I'll be ordering the second one. So I will do a review on it. Whether it's going to be positive or negative, I'll do a review on it. But so far, I'm going to read this book. Or sometimes I'll get in 10, 15 pages of the book, go, man, I hope they do something soon because, and this one here, like I said, it's the first book, so you gotta learn the characters, you gotta learn what's going on in the setting. It is a science fiction fantasy type of book, and those are ones I kind of like. 5 degrees here in northern Alabama. Yeah, I guess you guys ain't used to that weather. Yeah, we're used to 5 degrees here. Yeah, even -8 is not unheard of here. We get negative temperatures every year. I guess so Wyoming set a new record of -42 degrees, and that's not a wind chill. That is obvious temperature. And I remember one winter where it was -40 up north of me, where I used to live, and we had an older guy who left the VFW to walk home, and he only lived about a quarter mile from the VFW, and he forgot his keys and never made it back to the VFW. So you have to be very careful in this weather. This weather will kill you if you don't pay attention. The trick of potatoes is getting them cooked slow and steady. Make sure you got enough spices. And then we'll get ready to put the eggs in there. So the eggs I'm going to put in a mixing bowl. Here's my makeshift food bucket. You always recycle stuff. For all the rest of you beaverines out here, I do have the secondary heat on. I've got 4 candeliers going. And probably about 25 tea lights to help with the main furnace. Hang on a second. Yeah, babe. Yeah. Absolutely. Mrs. Scottish, just want to know if it's okay to do laundry. I go, absolutely. Anything to keep that water moving. So, especially in Alabama, Mama Jen, flush your toilets often. Have your faucet that's furthest from the water source. They said, hello. The place that's further from your water source dripping. You want to keep the water moving, otherwise it will freeze your pipes. Your pipes will break, and they will be much sadness. So, last couple days we did go to the store and stock up, but really the only thing we needed to stock up on is eggs, milk, and maybe some special meats we wanted to cook. Everything else I have plenty of. Which is the whole idea of watching shows like Prepper Nation. Then on the show I try to catch all the time. If you don't know, he did provide his personal email. So if anybody is feeling sad or lonely or just wants to talk to somebody, he said he's welcome for you to reach out to him. And he said he probably will be answering within a half hour or so, which I thought was great. My email is scottishfitness@gmail.com. If you have any questions about fitness or nutrition, feel free to email me. I do answer all my emails. And I also read and answer most of my comments, if not all of them, on my videos. Even the trolls. I did another troll last night. I had posted my one of my shorts was me benching 335 pounds by 7 times, and he goes, "Math must be different in Scotland." And I said, "Well, how so?" And he's like, "Oh, if you don't know, I can't help you." I'm like, "Okay." So I said, "Troll much?" Well, then he came out 2 responses that got blocked. And I looked at them and I realized by his responses, it was his math that was a little bit off. So I helped do the mathematical occasion for him. And he apologized. He said, "Nope, he goes, I guess I'm the," it was his words. He goes, "I guess I'm the dumbass." I go, "Well," I added all the weights up for him. I said, "This ends your math lesson for the day." Only because he was shouting so loudly his misinformation. So now I have a person who's no longer a troll. So, hey, miracles never cease. That's the second time that's happened. Where I have untrolled somebody. The other 598 times, it didn't happen that way. So, Christopher, good morning. How we doing? Yeah, I don't get too many of them. I had one that was for about 3 weeks. Christopher might remind him, about 3 weeks he kept popping in. And of course, my mods would would block them immediately. You know, I've got a couple miles Prepper Cowboy. I got Miss Worm. I got Lone Star or Lone Wolf, who used to be Fat Man Prepper. Michael at the Body Beatdown. Are my mods. Which none of them were on this morning. Oh well. And then every now and then I'll get. I did make it home. Yeah, it took me. So usually I can get home about 15 minutes, and it took me about 35 minutes to get home. Because at some points I had to slow down to as low as 15 miles an hour because I couldn't see the road anymore. Blowing snow, it was like, whoop, road's gone. I'm like, well, that's not good. The one thing about breakfast is a very highly protein meal. So the potatoes, I probably got about, well, I'll probably low up. I probably got about 6 grams of protein potatoes because a big potato is about 3 grams. Between the bacon and sausage, there's probably another 12, so there's 18. That was, I believe, 8 eggs. And we'll call them 6 grams. The jumbles are 8. We'll call them 6 grams. So there's 48. So there's 60 grams of protein right there. Cheese will give me another 3. There's 63. The milk. So I'm going to be having like 85 grams of protein per serving. Well, no, cut in half. So we'll be about 50 grams per serving, which I forgot someone else is going to be eating, which is boring enough. Your body can usually only handle about 30 to 50 grams of protein per meal. That's why I eat 5-6 meals a day. I try to keep it at 200 grams or more. Yeah, it's always fun walking home. A mile pulling the supplies in the winter. Yeah. So we got our supplies a lot sooner. Looks like it will be going to work today. Got nothing to do, but the only thing is it's just going to be cold and windy. But we only got about 5 inches of snow. And because it's so windy, the open ground is bare, and then you have drifts. So it looks like the taters are done. So I'll shoot the heat down to low. What I'll do is I'll break the bacon bits in here. I just fill it with bacon bits. And then the bacon I get from the Hy-Vee store butcher. And this is bourbon bacon. It is good. And I break them in there before I put the eggs in. And the eggs will cook quickly. Channel 2, good morning. Welcome. Merry Christmas. So I moved my Friday gym day to Thursday, so I'm doing a breakfast chat, which I do from time to time. Because nutrition is a big part of fitness. Now, if you do a lot of exercising and you eat poor food, or not enough of it, you will not see the results you want. So I got all the meats in there. Now I'll pour the eggs in. Try to pre-rinse whenever I can. To give me an idea. Good. some more of my secret spices. If you've been around me, it's salt and pepper. About as spicy as I get. During the summer, I'll add green peppers in there, maybe a jalapeno, and onions. I just stir this up. I don't really want to make it an omelet. And the eggs are just there to kind of hold everything together and provide lots of nutrients. Good cookware is also nice to have. I got this from Costco, and then I also have some MacBean cookware too. I like to eat, so I like to cook because I like to eat. Kind of that lovely circle. So then once the eggs get pretty much what I call about 80% done, I'll sprinkle some cheese on it for more flavor. Let's see what Outlaw's got here. For those who don't know, we live off the grid in northern Maine. Our drive is a mile long with no vehicle access in the winter after a heavy snow, 2 foot plus. Well, I didn't know that. Now I do. Outlaw Farms, that's that'll keep neighbors away. I don't live off the grid, but we do live in the country. My driveway is about 250 feet long. And I'm getting to the point where I don't shovel it anymore. I'll shovel around the car and I'll shovel around the entrance. Everything else is ramming speed. But when we get really bad weather, we will have one of the farmers will come by and plow the driveway for them. And I just utilize steak sauce on my eggs. Other people use ketchup. However, steak sauce is not for steak. And then the milk I use is Fairlife. It has half the sugar of regular milk, but it has 50% more protein. And if you're lactose intolerant, you can drink this milk. So, even though it's a little bit more, it's not really though. You're paying about the same amount that you'd pay for a gallon and a half gallon, but it has 50% more nutrition. So really you're not paying double, you're only paying about 50% more because it's equivalent to about 3/4 of a gallon of regular milk. Well, there we go. We got everything all nice and cooked. Turn off the heat. Cooking also helps warm up the kitchen. There we go. That is good eating. Packed full of nutrition and other good stuff. So I made the breakfast a little bit heavier than I usually do because I want to eat extra calories, maintain my body heat when I'm outside. Now, I'm not going to be outside very often. Basically, enough to get to the car and get down to get in the car and get back to work, and vice versa. But I think a lot of people forget how physically taxing extremely cold weather could be. So you want to make sure eating some extra calories, healthy calories, so you can maintain the body heat. Now, is breakfast served well. So I'm gonna take this to Mrs. Scottish Fitness. Here you go, sweetie. Yeah, bring your milk out. Well, come by and say hi to everybody. And there's 2% for Mama. I drink the heavier calorie stuff for the most part. Especially when I make a shake. I didn't make a shake today because we did get up a little bit earlier than usual because we had to make sure the cat didn't mess anything up. You want a glass of milk? Stay. Here you go, sweetie.
Oh, you're the best husband ever.
That one.
$20.
Yeah. No, this is eaten done right. So let me put the milks away. I appreciate y'all stopping in and saying hello. I hope everybody does have a Merry Christmas. I am gonna not eat in front of you this time. I usually do. Woo! And I am going to go and sit there. Now, actually, somebody's in my chair. Looks like I'm eating in the kitchen. Somebody's in my chair. Little black kitty cat. So, here's the delicious food. Everybody eat well. Merry Christmas. Be safe, stay warm. Remember, rest, nutrition, and proper exercise. Outlaw Farms, if you're dragging a sled for groceries, you're getting plenty of exercise. But be careful when you're shoveling snow. Treat it like an exercise. Don't go out there and shovel for a half hour. Shovel for 10 minutes. Take a 10-minute break. All right, and that'll keep you from having bad things happening. So Merry Christmas, everybody. And I will be back in the gym on Monday.